Hi again, guys. But good to be back with you here again. And as you know, if you've been watching along, there's some controversy in terms of what the tactics have looked like. But we have even more controversy here for you. We brought in 21 players here. We're up to the end of November right now. And don't worry, we haven't missed any matches. But the reason why I've chosen some of these players is going to probably elicit a little bit of controversy. Two of these you know already. I mean, Karim Diakabi and Azem Abdi. Azem Abdi is Swiss. And Karim is what is he from? Senegal, I think it was. Let's see if we can figure this out. Yes, from Senegal. Those are the two foreign players that we brought on, probably for the first time in the history of our club. And so this is probably going to be pretty interesting to see how they do. Karim, at least, he is injury prone, which is not a huge issue. I worry a little bit more about Azem, who is also inconsistent. But we'll see what we can do, and we may have him go ahead and start here for the final few matches because it looks like he's probably the best player on the team. And so we'll see what happens. But I'll get over here to the controversial start right away. We'll go take a look here at the squad. Now you'll notice that we have a number of players who have those little yellow hats by them, and that is because we've purchased a number of players who are not very consistent. And the reason why we'll get to here in a second, you'll see that a lot of them are not registered. Joe Samueleu, he doesn't like big matches. That's his problem. He has a good leader personality. He was playing for Viola Tongan and has had a 7.20 rating in 17 appearances this season. That's why we brought him on. So he's not playing for them anymore. Next is Sekoni Viali, who's inconsistent, and he was playing for Viola Tongan and had a 7.51 rating. All right, you can kind of see what we're doing here. This one, Paluani Tualalele, was playing for Ilao and Toamata and had also a very good rating for them, 7.17. So basically that's what I've done this time around. I'm not sure how... good this is to do, how legitimate this is, but what the strategy has been this time around is simply to go to these big teams and take away the players that are helping them win. This is the big one. Junior Teoni, who is one of the best goal scorers in the league, 7.67, 12 goals and 12 appearances for Lionheart, is no longer a Lionheart player. And so now we'll see if they have players who can fill in or not. My hope is that we can do enough damage to these teams so that we have a chance to win. Viola Tongan is the team that we've stripped of the most players. Now, there are some players that we brought in who I think are quite good. I haven't yet taken the time to really go through the squad planner and see what we have and see if there are changes that we need to make or not. But there are a number of these players who were quite literally not going to play, who we took just because they make the teams that we're competing with worse. At the end of this season, I'm going to release them, but they're going to stay with us until the end of the season. I don't think they can play for more than two teams, so we're going to have them for the final four matches of the season. So you can see the teams that we targeted were Lionheart, Viola Tongan, and Ilao and Toamata, because those are the three teams that are competing with us. And if we can get to the point where these teams are losing and we are constantly winning, then we will have a chance at actually winning the league. Now, we do play Ilawa and Toamata at the very end of the season. These three matches beforehand, we should be able to win pretty easily. But who knows? Maybe we'll have more of this, this drawing stuff going on. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So the way that I did this, just so you can see it, is basically I went over to the team, whatever team I was targeting, and looked not at the registration, but looked at the players, and just sorted them by the average rating and looked and saw, okay, Stidolf Oeti, I've been actually after this guy for a while. If I try to approach to sign him, he doesn't want to talk with us because he is young. He's 17. So we know that 17-year-olds are probably not going to sign over. Matthew Tagai, did he play for us before? He did not. So this is another one who we can look into potentially taking. And look at that. We could bring him on over. So we'll go ahead and do this. The reason why this works at this level is because, believe it or not, because this is an amateur level, it doesn't cost us any money at all. And so we can look at whoever's playing well, don't have to really look into what kind of player he is, and take him on over. MJ Viali, who has been having a pretty good season for them. We can look into bringing him over, and look, he will. And he wants to be the emergency backup. Great, we'll bring you on over. We're not going to start him, right? But what we do in doing this is make sure that he is unable to play for the other team. Tuaki Latu did play for us beforehand. It's a really interesting thing when you look at this. If they play for you before and you just release them, then they will be completely uninterested in having any negotiations with you. And if you go look over here at their at information, there we go. Yeah, would prefer not to play for PanSa. So, I mean, guys like that who I've mistreated in the past are not going to want to come back. You have to be kind of careful with doing this, but for some of these guys where you're like, okay, well, I know that this guy's played pretty well for their team, that they're going to rely on him. You can take a look and see, oh, well, maybe we can take him on over, and here this would work. Okay, we take a 30-year-old guy on over. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter one way or another because, we have to, we're going to have players on our squad no matter what. They're going to still have players at the end of the day. We can have these guys sort of sit around. We don't even have to register them if we look at them and say, yeah, they're really not that good. All we have to do is have them on the squad for the final few matches of the season. And if we're able to do that, then guess what? We have made their squad worse and made our squad better. And, it doesn't really matter in the end. Jermaine Sione has not played for us before, and he is a little bit older, and he's willing to come on over, so we'll take him over. And basically, that's what we did. It's kind of cheap, I know, but that's what we did with all of these squads. We'll look at Viola Tongan again. So, like King Moe, we're not going to be able to get him again. And again, we have to scout him to find out that he doesn't want to play for us, or we could just do this. He's not going to negotiate with us, not after what I did to him. And a lot of these players in the future are probably not going to want to play with us either because I'm just going to take the best ones and keep them, and the other ones we're going to get rid of. This guy, Tofayono, is 17 years old. That's the thing that you can tell. If they're 17 years old, they're probably not going to sign. This guy, Tolu Peario, normally I would not even dream of signing a player that inconsistent. Oh, look at this, and he played with us before. And so because he played with us before, he'd prefer not to play for us. So we're not going to have a chance of getting at him. And we'll take a look here at Latu and see if we can pull this guy on, and we can. I didn't even look to see what position he plays, right? And so you get another player who has averaged over a 7.0 rating. And what you do as a result of that is you make their team a lot weaker. Now, it's always possible that some of these players will decide in the end that they don't want to play for you anyway and they want to go sign with a different squad or whatever. And that's, a risk that I'm willing to take. Paul Feliz, I don't think that he ever played a game for us. He did not. This was a player who we let go of because of his inconsistencies, so he's not going to be a possibility. Pama Fetuao also never played a match, or he played 9 matches for us. He actually played fairly well in his 9 matches, but he's not going to be interested in leaving Elau and Tonomata. But you have to realize that we've already taken the players we wanted for them. Takai Faoga is 17 years old, which means that when we do this, he's not willing to come on over. Doesn't think that we're the right move right now. Once he's turned 18, though, chances are pretty good that he'll be able to come over. So from now on, the plan for me is to take a little bit of time. We're going to go into the squad planner, and we're going to do this thing where we ask the assistant to suggest for everything, and we're going to go through with everything, and we're going to take a look and say, okay, who do we want to be at the left back, who's at center back, who's at right back, and so on and so forth. We're going to rewrite basically all of the squad, and once we've rewritten the squad, we'll have a good idea of what we want to do. We're not going to release anybody now. We will wait for when the next transfer schedule or transfer season comes around, which is going to be, what is this? Not tomorrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, after 4 days from now, so after the Elau and Tomata match. Once we're done with that, then we're going to go through the squad. We'll release all the players who we're never going to play anyway, who we took over just to sort of be cheap, and let them off into the wild and see if they go back to the same clubs or if they go to other places. So it's not going to work every single time, but this will work from time to time, where we're going to keep on bringing on good players and hope that the combination of this and a restructured tactic are enough to put us sort of over the top. Now, is this cheating? It probably is a form of cheating, yeah. It's something that takes advantage of the fact that we're on an amateur club in an amateur league. If we had even a semi-pro club, this wouldn't be possible. If we had a very rich club, this also wouldn't be possible. We wouldn't do this. But as long as it's amateur and as long as it's this easy to take players on, we're going to take advantage of that and try to do what we can to disrupt things and maybe come off with sort of a sneaky win to the season. There's always a chance that we may have done a lot of damage to our dynamics and that we're not going to win anything. And if so, then rightly so, right? But I do think that we have a very good core on this squad right now. I think we already know the players who are going to be here long term. And so, we'll have a little bit of fun before the long term comes and mess around with some of these other guys and see if we can't maybe sneak in a couple wins here or there. As always, let me know what you think down below. But in this case, this probably actually is cheating. Talk to you later. Bye.